Back at it again. Hey guys, friendly neighborhood rifleman again here. Now I promise I am not trying to become the drone defense channel. I will be doing other projects in the future, but I saw this come across my feed and it was too good of an opportunity to pass up since I've been doing these. So, from the armorer's bench, again, I saw something like these. They are another type of drone defense round, except instead of like heat shrink or anything like that, or like those 3D printed ones I did back in the day that were more like a shell, these are like a split Sabot-style projectile with BBs in the middle. I did steel BBs just like last time, and yeah, just loaded them up the same way, pulled the bullets out, and I even made a tool to load these, which I will show you right now. So the Sabot halves look just like this. Now I know it's a different color than the others, but see, it has the 4 cavities in the middle for the BBs, and you know, it's just a printed half here. And here's the other half. There we go, had to get it in frame. You know, literally the same thing. I know I only have 3 BBs in there right now. I dropped one, don't feel like picking it up. But anyway, you just put them together like that. And I even made a tool right here, also 3D printed. You throw it in there, keeps it together, and you just use that to pound it into the cartridge. And yeah, just keeps it together, works great. Anyway, you'll see that I made these up in 7.62x39, and you'll notice I only have about 10 rounds here. Now I usually make 20 for these tests, and I still did, but instead of making 20 7.62x39, I loaded another 10 in 7.62x54R, and I'll be shooting them out of a Mosin Nagant. If you see in the Armorer's Bench video, which I will link down below, they had some of these loaded up in like a belt for a PKM, which, you know, pretty badass, but I do not own a PKM, nor will I ever, likely. But anyway, same bullet size, put them in the same way using the same die, and yeah, we'll see how those work as well. A little more velocity probably, but yeah, let's get out to the range, test these out, and see how they do. One last thing before we hit the range, I'm going to put my Buy Me a Coffee down in the description, just in case you'd like to support me directly so you can see more projects like this. Alright, let's go shoot some stuff. Alright, we're out at the range. We're going to start off by patterning at 15 yards, and yes, we're going to shoot it a little further. I know that's something a lot of people suggested, and we will do that later in the video. But yeah, let's go ahead and get this started. Alright, got my Mosin and my AK, and we got 2 drone targets set up here at 15 paces, about 15 yards. And we're going to take a shot at them and see how they pattern. We're going to do 2 shots from each caliber. Alright, first 2 rounds will be from the AK in 7.62x39, and we'll put them on the top target. Firing. That was pretty weak. Alright, one more on the top target. Alright, now we're going to do 2 on the bottom target with the Mosin Nagant in 7.62x54R. This is the first shot. Go ahead and keep recording, loading up the other one. And second shot. Let's see what those did. Alright, we're up close to the target here. So, on the target we shot at with the AK, looks like they hit a little bit low, but that was just me. But it seems like they were a pretty good group from 15. And ones for the Mosin Nagant are actually a little bit more spread out, but you know, they're kind of hitting. So, not too bad. Still a bit of a wide spread for 15 though. Alright, let's try something else. Alright, one thing that was suggested in my last video was ballistics gel. I did, you know, water jugs, and, you know, those are cool, but I think ballistics gel will be a lot cooler. We're going to do this from pretty close range and see what it does to a more fleshy target. Alright, let's see what happens. Alright, I'm going to be about 5 yards away. First shot's going to be with the 7.62 by 39. And here we go. Firing. Alright, now 7.62 by 54R. Firing. Alright, if we look from the top here, now I didn't see the 7.62 by 39 do much, but it looks like when I hit it with the 7.62 by 54R, it actually caused quite a ruckus inside that gel. You'll see quite a wound channel. Yeah, not bad. Now I do have special plans for this gel at the end of the video, so you want to stick around to see that. Alright, I have a fake drone set up at about 25 yards. That's about all the distance I have at the moment. We're going to give each caliber about 3 tries to hit it, and yeah, we'll see if we can hit. Alright, 7.62 by 39 goes first. Firing. Alright, second shot. And last shot for the AK. No hits that I can see. Alright, AK was a letdown. Let's do 3 shots with the Mosin. Firing. Alright, let's see if we hit anything. Huh? Alright, well I guess it had less propellant in it than I thought. Because even though I didn't see it from back there, there are actually a couple holes right in the body of it. So I actually hit it pretty well. I guess these are effective at least out to 30 yards. Alright. Alright, we're going to do 2 rounds each through the Chrono. AK goes first. Firing. 1929. Not too horrible. And 689. That has to be an error. I hope it is anyway. Alright, now 2 from the Mosin. Let's see what this does. $14.60. One more. Error. Unfortunate. Alright, so what are my final thoughts on these? Well, they worked okay. So, I think the heat shrink ones actually worked a little better, but I know that for people doing these, trying to make these during war, I can see how 3D printing can be a more viable method of mass production, because you can just print like a whole plate of those Sabot halves. But I think the only thing wrong with these is that they didn't quite seal all the way around, because the dimensions aren't really even all the way around. It's not a perfect circle. But, you know, these might be a good candidate for a V2, unlike the last 3D printed shot shells that I made. But anyway, I think they did okay. So thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe if you want. I'm not your dad. And stay tuned for the surprise after this. Have you ever seen a ballistics gel get point blanked by a Desert Eagle? You're about to. Lord have mercy. That thing blew apart into 3 pieces. 50 Action Express is nothing to mess with. Alright, thanks for watching.